Have you noticed that some people almost never show their private life online? No vacation photos, no relationship updates, no constant stories about what they're doing. To many people, this looks strange. We live in a world where everything is posted, liked, shared, and measured. If you don't share, it can seem like you are hiding something, or like nothing interesting is happening in your life. But psychology suggests something very different. People who choose privacy are not always shy or insecure. Many of them are actually making a conscious decision. They want peace, they want control, and they don't want their life to become a public show. And this choice reveals a quiet kind of power, one that most people never notice. Today, social media works like a giant stage. People post their meals, their friendships, their arguments, and even their problems. Likes and comments act like applause. The more attention someone gets, the more valuable they believe they are. Because of this, many feel pressure to show everything. But the people who don't share their private lives move in the opposite direction. They are not driven by the need to be seen all the time. Instead, they quietly observe. They enjoy experiences without thinking about how they will look on a screen. And this difference changes everything. When you are not trying to impress the internet, you can live your life more naturally. You feel less comparison, less jealousy, and less noise. You don't wake up thinking, "What should I post today?" You simply live, and that freedom is rare. This sets the stage for something deeper, and psychology explains it clearly. Many assumptions grow around people who stay quiet online. Some say they are boring, others think they are socially distant, and some believe they must be insecure. But often, the truth is the opposite. People who share less usually think more before acting. They value privacy because they understand its impact. They know that once something is published, it can be judged, misunderstood, copied, or even used against them later. So instead of posting every moment, they choose what truly matters and keep the rest protected. This doesn't mean they dislike people. It simply means they prefer real conversations, real memories, and real connections. They don't need validation to feel important. And slowly, a different picture appears. Their silence isn't weakness, it's intention. And intention is a form of strength. One of the strongest psychological traits of people who protect their private lives is emotional control. They are not constantly checking for likes or worrying about who approved their choices. Their mood does not rise or fall depending on reactions from strangers. Instead, their sense of worth comes from inside. They don't rush to prove success, love, or happiness to others. When something good happens, they celebrate privately. When something difficult happens, they process it quietly, without turning pain into public content. This gives them space to think. Without the constant feedback loop of social media, they become more stable and less reactive. They don't feel the urge to compare their life with someone else's highlight reel. They understand that most of what is shown online is edited, filtered, and exaggerated. Because of that, they stay grounded. And this inner grounding prepares them for another hidden advantage that often goes unnoticed. Another powerful trait is identity protection. People who avoid sharing everything online understand that privacy is not secrecy, it is protection. They know that the more others know about your emotions, plans, and weaknesses, the easier it becomes for people to judge, pressure, or manipulate you. By choosing what stays offline, they keep control over their story. They don't feel the need to explain every decision. They don't ask the internet for approval before taking a step, and because of that, they move with more confidence. Their life is guided by their values, not by trends. When challenges appear, they face them internally first. They talk to trusted people instead of thousands of followers. Problems remain manageable because they are not exposed to a public audience. This creates emotional safety, and safety builds clarity, the kind of clarity that leads to stronger decisions and calmer relationships. All of this begins with one simple choice: not everything needs to be shared. From here, another layer of independence starts to appear. People who don't expose their private lives also develop something rare: social autonomy. They don't measure friendships by comments or messages. They don't chase attention, and they don't panic when their life is quiet. They create relationships in real spaces, conversations, calls, time together. Because they are not always trying to perform for others, they listen more. They notice details. They connect deeply with a small circle instead of spreading their energy across hundreds of superficial interactions. And this changes the way they make decisions. They say yes or no based on what feels right, not on what looks impressive online. Their actions come from personal values, not the fear of missing out. They understand that life is richer when memories are lived, not constantly documented. Over time, this independence shapes a strong internal world. They are less reactive, less anxious, and harder to influence. And it's here that the true hidden power begins to reveal itself. When someone keeps their private life offline, something quiet but powerful begins to grow. They gain focus because they are not constantly thinking about how moments will look on social media. They experience life more deeply. Trips feel different. Conversations feel richer. Success feels more personal. Nothing needs to be turned into a show. They also gain peace. There is less comparison, less drama, and fewer opinions entrando na vida deles. Their mind is lighter. Their heart is calmer. They make decisions without the noise of a crowd watching. And above all, they gain control. Their story belongs to them, not to the internet. They decide what the world gets to see and when. That control creates confidence, and confidence slowly becomes strength. Privacy, then, is not about hiding. It is about preserving what is precious. And this understanding leads to one final realization, one that many people only discover later. Living with privacy is not about disappearing from the world. It is about choosing what belongs to you and what can be shared. Some people love posting, and that's okay. But those who stay more reserved are making a different kind of decision. They are protecting their peace. They understand that once a moment leaves their hands and enters the internet, it no longer belongs fully to them. So instead of exposing everything, they curate. They share pieces, not their whole soul. This is a conscious, mature posture. It shows awareness, self-respect, and emotional intelligence. It shows that they understand the cost of constant visibility. And this choice connects naturally with the final insight.